And so if you're sitting here wondering why Mamdani is the mayor of New York this morning, or has been elected this morning, he gets to say whatever he believes. He gets to come off as authentic. He gets to describe in detail, if I'm the mayor, here's what I want to do. Here's how I want your lives to change. Here are the things that I think will improve New York City. But if you're on the conservative side, if you're on the biblical conservative side, they have framed up the conversation that if you say what you think should happen, you're racist. If you say, man, we got too many Muslims over here. Man, how did 80,000 people wind up from Somalia end up in Minnesota? How did Ilhan Omar rise to power? Why are there people in lawmakers of ours that have dual citizenship? How come we can't execute an America First agenda? If you ask those questions, you're intolerant. You're racist. You're anti-Semitic. And most of these people don't want to deal with the consequences. And the only people that can are people that look up and look to Jesus for guidance. Charlie Kirk did that. And when I say they, whatever forces that killed Charlie Kirk, I think they killed him over his biblical worldview and his fearlessness about speaking that biblical worldview. He was unafraid. He went head on. Someone called him racist, he would engage with them and explain to them why he wasn't racist and what his thinking was. But he was framed up as this evil character. And look, me and Charlie Kirk were not best friends. Me and Charlie Kirk didn't talk that much. But the Charlie Kirk that I met and the Charlie Kirk that I followed and the TPUSA events that I attended, this was not a force of evil. This is a force of good. This was a man standing on biblical values, trying to bring people together through Christ. He was looking up. Everybody has been told to look down. And that when you start looking down and you don't look up, and when you start being afraid of expressing your biblical worldview, everybody can see the inauthenticity. Everybody, the people that you want to inspire to vote for you, they don't really believe in you. They believe in the uniparty. And so they will come out and vote for Donald Trump because he's done enough, he's experienced enough, he's been the assassination attempts, the incarceration attempts, the deliverables. And in my lifetime, the only president that I can positively say, man, this guy in my lifetime delivered something of value to me, it's Donald Trump. And it's the overturning of Roe v. Wade. And it's the pardons, the presidential pardons he gave the January 6th crowd. And it's the legalization of a conversation about how rigged the media and how fake the media is. And he basically created this independent media space that I operate in and has given me an opportunity to stay true to what I actually believe, rather than having to sit on corporate television and compromise what I actually believe. Donald Trump participated in creating an environment and a culture and a workforce that where I can be me. And I'm thankful for that. And so That's, again, I had never voted. And I voted for Donald Trump because I thought, man, not the kind of Christian I would want from my president, but at least he stands for something and delivers something of real value. And we don't have politicians that do that anymore. And you wonder why people aren't coming out in droves to vote. We're supposed to come out in droves and vote for Andrew Cuomo? This man's a Democrat. He as far as I could, to me, and I'm sorry for saying this, but it's what I think. Any of these Democrats, I don't think they're on board with God. And they may have fooled themselves into thinking they are, but they're not. Anytime your national convention has an abortion truck sitting outside the front door, you're not on Team God. And you can lie to yourself and you can convince yourself that you are, but you're not. But they've turned conservatives into being soft versions of Democrats. And you can't, we're just too inauthentic. And so you wonder why Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes have followings. It's because people believe that they believe what they're saying. Doesn't make what they're saying right. It just makes people believe, like, hey man, they really believe that. And they don't think that mainstream Republicans and their supporters, the Never Trump crowd, the I'd prefer DeSantis crowd, they don't believe you're authentic. And so they don't really care about coming out and supporting you. You're just a different path to the exact same results. I thought Steve Deace wrote something brilliant. It's long. I'm going to share it. I'm going to read it. It's long. I don't like the ending of it, but when I was sitting here this morning thinking about everything that I thought about what this election result, particularly in New York, and with Mamdani, what it means, what it signifies. We had the conference call this morning at 6 a.m. I'm talking about it then. I'm thinking about it even further. And then about an hour before this show started, I read what Steve Deace tweeted out this morning. And I was like, this is tremendous. This is brilliant. Let me read it. Last night's election results proved again that worldview is destiny. 3 lessons we have to learn. Let me stop here. Worldview is destiny. Biblical worldview. I'm putting words in his mouth or putting words in his tweet, but biblical worldview is destiny. And the left, and I'm putting words in his mouth, this is me interpreting what he's saying, but the left gets to proudly, boldly speak their worldview. The right has been trained that if you speak your worldview too boldly, we'll do you the same way we did Trump. Here's Donald Trump. He's friends with every black rapper and celebrity and athlete for years. But we framed him up as a racist. And we'll do that to you. Here's Charlie Kirk, a devout Christian. We framed him up as racist. We can do it to you. And there's been bullets fired at Donald Trump. There's been attempts to incarcerate the man. And Charlie Kirk was shot in broad daylight in front of basically all of America and all the world. And most people don't want to pay that price. They want to carry the cross only so far. When it gets dicey and when it gets to like, man, you could lose your life, you could lose your reputation, you could become a pariah. Most people put the cross down and say, I'm good, this is as far as I can go. The left, they have no limits. They will carry their worldview to the extreme. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.